right.
Wait, is Matt like
Ow.
doing things for you? Because he's frozen on mine.
Oh boy.
We can see him fine.
Yeah.
Okay, he's frozen on mine. That's why I've been making comments like that for this whole time.
Okay.
Oh.
Matt, do you want to try a quick reconnect?
Yeah, I can.
Through your settings. Oh, you know what?
What?
Okay,
Gabe-
now I see him.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Good. So
Gabe made a change in his settings, so I'm wondering if it just didn't refresh for him.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, if you like usual, if you see somebody freeze up, then let me know, and we'll be good. Brian, did you freeze up?
No.
Okay, you were just sitting there so still. He's dead.
Okay, so every now and then one of us is just gonna stop moving until Jeremy notices.
Everyone has to like act like they're in a fighter game and always be bouncing so we can tell if you're frozen or not.
Damn it! I laughed. I'll just do this.
Oh shit, we are streaming, by the way. All right, so we're good to go. Let's get rolling on this thing. Welcome to the Lovecraft Tapes. I am Jeremy, your keeper of arcane lore, and we play Call of Cthulhu, a horror role-playing game based upon the fictional works of H.P. Lovecraft. Your investigators of the unknown are Matt as Private Detective Dan Williams.
Oh shoot! I totally forgot that someone hit me in the gut with a bullet last time. Sometimes you just forget these things. It's okay.
Brian as Special Agent Jack Whiteside.
God damn it, Danny! Stop complaining about your little wound.
And Gabe as Special Agent Roy Arroyo.
Sports Center's been really going down the tubes lately.
Well, welcome, players. Let's begin by checking the mailbag for any letters from beyond.
Mail sack.
It's in a coffin, see? It's not really a bag. It's like, okay, anyways.
Why would you lie to our fans?
All right, on Facebook, we would like to welcome new followers, Dan Butler, Bob Bieber, and Lars Christian Detlefsen. I'm sure I nailed that.
Nailed it.
Is, my maiden name. On Reddit, we would like to thank Wyckoff H1, Malambra57, and Rogius Rogue for discussing their favorite and least favorite episodes. And a big hug to Bite of Pear, Naiad Naturalist, and Theos Chaos for chiming in on the various threads. We love the passion and the thoughtful critique.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Matt, he hates it.
Yeah.
I can't stand thoughtful critique.
Die.
Unthoughtful critique is okay, but
Thoughtful critique killed my parents.
And raped my childhood. And on Twitter.
No, I blame Disney's live-action remakes for raping my childhood.
Yeah,
Thank you very
that
much.
could do it. Yeah.
And finally on Twitter, we did have one very strange tweet from @TheRealWeirdKid. And he said, I just want to put on the record that it's officially Brian Podcast's fault that I got shot. That is all.
That was like...
It was like that dude, right over
This
there.
isn't going to air for a while, so that tweet's way out of context.
That's true. That's true. So Brian is either frozen or playing. No, there he goes. He's audio podcast.
I don't care.
The audio podcast. All right. Oh, shoot. Does anybody know what time it is?
11:23.
Yeah.
Time for you
to
get
pay
a
the
watch.
bills.
No, it's 11:23.
Let's take a quick commercial break. And we're back.
I held my breath the whole time.
I stopped listening 2 seconds in.
But you were the
We
one
call
doing the
these
narration.
sponsors?
All right. Now, dear investigators, we continue. Chapter 6, The Big Uneasy.
Hell House 2.
My life. Oh.
Previously on the Lovecraft Tapes. Dan, Jack, and Roy endure a week of confinement at FBI headquarters, where they are sequestered and grilled about the strange occurrences in Leland, Texas. During this time, they receive medical aid for their injuries and are allowed to recuperate somewhat. Of course, the terrors they have witnessed will haunt them for the rest of their lives. Eventually, they are released. Both Jack and Roy have been given an indefinite leave of absence, while all three have been advised to keep their experiences to themselves. They return home and sleep in their own beds, or armchairs. Unfortunately, none is granted a peaceful night's rest. Jack, you've just pulled back the bed sheets to discover a 6-foot rattlesnake coiled at your feet.
Aww.
It appears a bit sluggish and surprised at the moment. If you're lucky, some quick thinking might give you the upper hand.
It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank.
All right, so Jack, I'm going to give you a free action. You can think about how you want to deal with this 6-foot rattlesnake coiled at your feet.
Roy Facebook's shoot it.
Instead of to do shoot it. I think you should go full Looney Tunes and just tie it into a bow knot.
Okay. I'm in my bed. It's down by my feet, correct? I just want to make sure I have
you
all
just
the
pulled
details
over
correct
back the
here.
bed sheets because you were like, what the hell is this thing rubbing on
What's
my leg?
rubbing up against me? It's been a while.
I kind of like it. Slithery like.
All right.
Reminds me of home.
I'm going to slowly slide out of the blankets and onto the floor, my legs, and then get the hell out of the bed.
All right. So that sounds to me like it's going to be... What do you guys think? Is that going to be a stealth?
Auto repair.
Accounting.
Accounting, yes, I like that. Let's take a look at your character sheet real quick.
I think it's a spot hidden.
I think it's a stealth.
It's a library
It
use,
seems
clearly.
like a stealth to me. Do you guys all
Rolling
agree?
stealth
I would say more sleight of hand than stealth.
or swim.
Because he's
well,
like
his sleight of
trying-
hand is 10 and his stealth is 60.
Well, sleight of hand.
But Roy wants me to die.
I'd say,
It's a
I'm going to say
Cthulhu
this is...
Mythos roll.
I'll
Why
say
isn't
this
there
is stealth.
sleight of foot roll?
Too late. I rolled. I'm spending some luck.
Well, you may need to.
Yeah. I needed a 60. I rolled a 65.
All right.
So I am going to spend 5 luck
Okay.
to get to 60.
Got it.
And that leaves my luck at 30.
Okay. So we'll say that so you basically tried to slowly retract your legs. Is that
Slide
right?
them off of the bed to the floor, like you know when you get out of bed, but
Sure.
very slowly.
Right. Okay. All right. So
'Cause
we'll
they don't like fast movement.
that is
Bites you and you
correct.
die.
That is correct. So as you begin to move your legs out from under the coiled serpent, you can feel its body become rigid, and the rattle starts to rattle. And you're
I fall right back to sleep. I'm a baby.
you're just able to get your feet away from the coil when you realize it's going to strike. So
We're not
now
bowling.
we go into, that was your free action, and you've managed to extricate yourself away from the coiled rattlesnake. Remind me again what your action was after that.
I thought it was a full movement, but it would have been to get out of the bed, cover it, throw the blanket and get out of bed. Cover
Yeah.
it.
So you've already pulled back the blanket, and there. Oh shit, snake! And so you move your feet out from underneath it, and then I guess, are you trying to get up out of bed, or are you covering it?
In one action, you throw the blanket out of bed.
So okay, but are you trying to cover the snake? Is that what you're trying to do?
Not necessarily. It's just more of a throw the blanket.
Okay.
If it covers, great. If it distracts it, great.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
I'm more concerned about my legs.
Okay.
than covering it.
Who needs them?
Exactly right. Okay, so we'll say you extricate your legs with no problem, and I assume that you're moving them out onto the floor.
No, I want to get in deeper into the snake so I can warm up. I'm very cold.
Quick question: why is the snake striking? Does it want better benefits packages, or maybe dental?
Health insurance, man.
Absolutely.
Brian,
Sacks
Jack
to take
Whiteside
care
does
of.
not offer health coverage with his insurance plan, and the snake is not happy. He has a family with children.
I'm gonna get out of that bed as fast as I can.
Got it. Okay, cool. So now we're into that was your free action, and you successfully extricated your legs away from the snake, and you're essentially trying to get out of bed. And so now the snake, we're basically into regular old combat. So I'm going to pull up the combat flowchart, and you should be able to do the same if you like. And so basically we need to establish order of attack. Your dexterity is what?
My dex is, sorry, I put it on a new screen, 60.
Awesome. And his is 90. So he's going to go first.
What?
He is going to lash out, basically extend to the length of his body and attempt to bite you.
No, he's helping me out of bed.
On your butt? He's going to try to bite you on your butt?
Oh, Jesus.
Butt bite.
Butt bite.
Hashtag butt bite.
Exactly right.
And then Roy throws a Molotov cocktail into the room and burns him alive.
As he's wont to do. Absolutely. Okay, so what is going to be your counterattack according to the flowchart?
Let's see. Establish order, blah, blah, blah.
So you can either attack back,
right,
flee, which is a dodge, or maneuver.
Hold on one second. My dog's clicking through the. Okay,
I can hear him. So you're gonna either dodge his attack, fight back, or perform a maneuver. And the maneuver is sort of like, you can kind of think of some actionable maneuver that you would see in an action movie.
Yeah. I have a feeling that his maneuver is going to be a hell of a lot better than mine, though. And this probably isn't a natural snake.
Unnatural snake.
I think I'm going to try to dodge, honestly. I think that's my best bet, is to try to dodge.
All right. So basically, we compare successes. So I will go ahead and strike, and we'll see what happens here.
Okay.
And do we press the gray one or the green one?
Green one.
The green one is the simplified version.
Got it.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. All right. And then you roll your dodge.
Grand Cherokee. I needed a 30 and I rolled a 22.
Okay. So he basically fails to connect with you. His fangs sink into your pillow.
No, it's memory foam.
And now it's your turn. And you can choose to either attack, flee, or maneuver.
I'm going to...
Shoot it?
No, not Roy.
It's stuck in the pillow. Come on.
It is defenseless.
I'm going to grab it by the back of its head.
Mm-hmm.
You pick up a snake, you pinch its neck and hold it.
Mm-hmm.
And pull it up off the pillow and hold it. Not the piddle, but the pillow.
The piddle. All right, so go ahead and roll your attack, and this is going to be a fighting brawl.
Yeah, it's not going to be good, but...
And he's
going
to attempt to dodge.
Yeah.
Roll your choke a snake roll.
I'm good at it.
Fight that brawl. Ooh.
Now, can I still spend luck or no?
Well, let's see how his dodge goes.
Okay.
Probably even
not.
if you spent a ton of luck,
it wouldn't matter.
he's gonna.
Just for the listeners, I needed a 25. I rolled a 28.
Right. All right. So if we take a look at our combat flow chart, so he didn't exactly. He just dodged. He didn't actually
fight back.
Yeah. And it says combat rolls cannot be pushed. FYI.
Okay. Cool.
And as a result, I don't think you can do luck roll either for fighting.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So next round, he obviously gets the upper hand. So he's going to attempt to coil around you and basically twist his head around and bite your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. He rolled a 21 he needed a 40.
And I have to dodge, correct?
Yep, you can dodge, or you can fight back.
Okay.
Or you can maneuver in some fashion. And essentially, if you fight back, that is a fighting brawl.
Right.
A
Yeah, I'm
maneuver,
weighing
a
my
maneuver is the same thing, but you're trying to perform a certain effect.
Right. I'm gonna dodge again. I've got better
Okay.
odds.
Oh,
I needed a 30 and I rolled a 4, which is extreme.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and say that because you rolled an extreme, you're able to perform some sort of maneuver if you like. Actually, defender. Well, you know,
How does that work?
it says attacker wins with higher levels. Draw equals defender wins. Both fail, no damage inflicted. So I'm trying to take a look here.
Yeah, because he had a.
Attacker wins with higher level draw. Yeah. So you're basically not trying to inflict any damage.
No, just trying to get away.
Right. So yeah, let's say because you were able to do the dodge roll so well that I'm going to allow you. You describe to me how you
Get away.
not necessarily get away because you're not fleeing, but
Right.
you render the thing incapacitated. So describe that action.
Okay. As I spin around after trying to grab him by the neck and he leaps at me, I'm going to backhand the top of his head as I'm moving up further off the bed.
Okay, and then what happens to the snake after you backhand him?
It just lays there motionless in the bed.
That's an attack, Brian.
Shut up, Gabe.
Yeah, come up with something a little better than that. So you're basically rendering him useless. You're not actually
attacking him.
Yeah, you're not doing him damage. But
what else can I use? I'm gonna reach for the pillow that he just bit as he's coming at me again and put it in between us. So he just hits the pillow again.
No, we're gonna actually render him useless.
I don't know what that means because I just said render him unconscious, which is useless.
Right,
but that didn't work.
Do it in a more spectacular fashion using what you see.
I do a backflip matrix run around the entire room and then backhand him on the head, which knocks him unconscious.
That's still an attack.
I don't know what else to do. Well, that's what I would do.
Well, yeah, that's it's pretty boring. So, what about like
try not to get bit by a snake?
Do you have a nightstand?
I don't know what's in my room.
Just make it up, dude. Make it up. This is your story.
Okay, I pick up the
Hollywood on it. You know, he comes
up. You want me to tell it or no?
And you throw him into a light socket.
Okay. I hit it on the back of the head with the back of my hand. He's dead. I pick up the lamp off my nightstand, pull it as hard as I can to unplug it from the wall. As I'm in that same motion, I swing back at it as it's in midair, lunging for my hand to bite me, knocking it against the headboard of the bed and down under the bed, between the headboard and the mattress.
Okay. All right. So the snake is now under the bed, either unconscious or not.
Correct. That way we don't know, and it's fun, and it's not an attack.
Leave it there. So
yeah, I'm out. See ya.
It'll attack you later.
Stick it in a bottle of tequila.
Boy, I'm tired. I'm going to go home and take a nap.
All right. So as you rip out the lamp and smack it as it's lunging at you, it hits the wall and slithers down towards the headboard and then just sort of drapes onto the headboard. So it's hanging halfway down behind and halfway. And you can see that it is clearly been rendered unconscious.
Yay!
The rattle has stopped. You do also notice that the pillow that it had bitten has two large holes in it, and it has been discolored with some sort of
yellow
poisonous substance that is green and sort of sticky. It's you can actually see like a little bit of sizzling.
Quick, suck it out before the pillow
it's like acid. Oh, so I'm gonna grab the pillow and go and rub my face on it.
Yeah,
emphasis on
right near my eyes.
But otherwise, it appears you've rendered the snake useless.
All right,
dead.
And that's our episode. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Have your pet spayed or neutered.
Absolutely.
I would like to get to my knife as quickly as I can,
Okay.
and I'm going to cut it in half.
All right. And as you do so, it rears back up momentarily.
It rears its ugly head.
It rears its ugly head. And then as you finish the cut and bisect it, both halves sort of wriggle, one slipping back behind the headboard onto the floor underneath your bed. You can hear it down there sort of rattling and swishing around, and the other one is lashing around in your hand. Mm-hmm. And but after just moments and the blood is spewing all over your wall, it ceases to move.
Nice.
And hangs limply in your hand. And you begin to stroke it until it becomes harder and harder. No, wait, what?
Oh, the rattle!
This isn't that kind of show,
Which
Jeremy.
end do I have? The butt end? The rattle? In my hand?
No, you have the head part.
Okay.
Yep, the rattle is underneath the bed.
All right.
Yeah.
It
I'm
turns
going
into
to-
Flo the waitress, and you feel sad.
I'm going to hold it out from me a little bit, but inspect the head of it to see if I can notice if it's if there's any supernatural
Okay.
aspects to it.
All right. So
Seeing the pillow like that, I want to check it out.
gotcha. Let me see. I got a little picture for you. I can share
cool.
with you, I believe. Let me just show this to the players and see if this works.
Get a room, Gabe.
Show to everyone. Can you see that? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Should be just a picture, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So that's it. So it is clearly a rattlesnake. Jack, you've encountered this before. It's rather large, and excuse me. It has some unusual markings that you clearly know that this thing is not indigenous to this part of the country.
Right.
So it is a little odd that something of this this species of rattlesnake would be found here, particularly in your bed. That doesn't make any sense. If you would like to, you may perform an animal handling at this point.
Yeah.
If you would like to further identify it.
Okay. Yeah, I would. So what do I roll for that? Because it's other skills.
You'd have to type it into one of the blank boxes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you don't possess that
then I
particular
can't.
skill, then you cannot do it.
Okay, that's okay.
Although if you wanted to roll it and you rolled a 1, I'd be happy to give it to you.
Oh,
do
yeah,
it.
try it. Yeah. It won't let me do it. Oh, I gotta checkbox it, don't I?
It
won't let
not
me do it.
checkbox it, but there needs to be something in there, I think. So it needs
You
to be
gotta
like
type in the one
type
I
in a
did.
1.
I-
Yeah.
Oh, type in a 1. Where?
next to it.
1.
So in the long box, type in animal handling, and then the little square, type in 1.
Yeah, you don't even. Have
Oh,
to
I
type
didn't
in
see the little
anything.
square. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't see the little square.
I've typed up enough shoot him
Yeah.
rolls to know what that's
Yeah.
about.
Exactly.
All right, boom.
Oh,
I needed a 1. I rolled a 41.
all right.
You were close.
So
You
If we,
clearly
roll,
can't.
if we round down to the nearest 1, you succeeded.
yes. Champion.
All right. So you take a gander at it, and it's the only thing you do know is that it's not indigenous to this part of the country. But other than that, you may need to do a little bit of research beyond
Okay.
this. So maybe look on the internet or library use at some
The
point.
internet. That's a good one.
But
Please
you're
don't use that.
more importantly, you're not even sure how this thing got into your house
Yeah, that's
or
bizarre.
your condo, rather.
I'm going to grab my sidearm
Mm-hmm.
and go around and check every window and doors in my location.
Alrighty. So you go out into the main area, out of your bedroom in the condo, and so just tell me where you
Okay.
go and what you look for.
I'm just going to listen
Go ahead.
as I go.
Give me a
soft
listen.
step, bare feet,
Okay.
soft stepping. I needed a 49. I got an 81, so I don't have ears.
Yeah, right. So you don't really hear anything unusual. You hear the ticking of the clock. You hear the refrigerator running.
Okay.
You might want to catch that.
Oh, look at that.
Got him.
So I'm going to work my way around the room and just check every window and door.
Okay. You move into the main area of your condo. There doesn't appear to be any windows that are ajar.
Okay.
But your front door is unusually unlocked.
Okay.
You're pretty dang sure that you did lock it.
Okay.
The snake unlocked it.
Let me check my inventory real quick here. Okay. All right. I'm going to go up to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Check the coat closet that's right adjacent from there first.
Okay.
Make sure nobody's in there.
Nope. Appears to be
More
empty.
snakes.
I'm going to inspect the door without touching it to see if it's
And Samuel
ajar
Jackson
or if
is
it's
there.
just unlocked.
It is latched, but the deadbolt is unlocked.
Okay. That is weird. All right. I'm going to reach into the coat closet, grab whatever material, a light coat,
Okay.
a windbreaker,
Mhm.
and put it on the doorknob and turn the handle without touching the handle with my skin.
Okay. So you open up the front door,
Mm-hmm.
and the stoop appears to be empty.
Okay. I'm going to quickly peek out and check my perimeter.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and give me a spot hidden?
I needed a 70. I rolled a 98, which is really close to fumbling.
You see that
You
Google
used-
roll you put on a few
Yeah.
times ago? How you got an extreme for that?
Yeah. You used all of your luck in that Google roll in the
No.
Would
I
you-
used
would you
it
like
in my
to-
dodges.
Do you want to push that or stay with that?
I'm going to stay with it.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
gonna stay
So
with
you poke out your head, check your perimeter, and it appears that the condo grounds are empty. There's nobody out there that you can detect, and you even check the the side of the outside of the door handle and lock. You don't see any evidence that it was tampered with, so probably you just forgot to deadlock it.
Okay. I'll accept that even though I don't believe it. All right. I'm going to shut the door and go into my junk drawer in my kitchen
Mm-hmm.
and get out some Scotch tape.
All right.
And I'm going to go back to the front door, open it,
Okay.
and on the deadlock, I'm going to put a small piece of Scotch tape over the key hole,
Okay.
shut my door, and lock it.
All right. And we'll leave you there for now. And we'll switch to Dan. Dan, you're padding down the stairs of Blaine Manor, intent on searching for more clues to Samantha's whereabouts in the study, when the sound of something falling and breaking comes from within.
Like within myself? Like, is this an introspective thing?
Reach down, find the source of the breaking.
Yay.
I'm going to take a moment to pull out my gun, make sure it's ready. Safety is still on, though, at this point, and I'm just going to kind of combat down, hold it, and slowly pad my way over to the entrance to the study where I heard the noise.
All right. So you can see that the study door is open just a little crack, and you see some shadows playing against the wall of the thin slit through which you can look.
Damn kids and their shadow parties. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of steps back from the door. I'm going to gun up and point it in, rear back, and kick the door open.
All right. Are we playing Munchkin? Kick down the door? All right. So you kick the door open and you see the study is in disarray. You see the lamp that was on the desk has fallen to the floor and broken. It is very dark in there. And you can see three shapes that appear to be humanoid. And essentially you get the drop on them in a way. So I need to let you have a spot hidden, please.
I needed a 68 and I rolled a 23. That's a hard success.
Very lovely. Okay. So you see two of the figures. You can see them very clearly now. These are, as your eyes adjust to the darkness, the three figures are cloaked in robes of brown with green satin trim. You also detect a strange musty odor that is emanating from them.
Sorry.
Two of them immediately flee towards the window, and you can see one of them is holding a small obsidian puzzle box that doesn't look really familiar, but he slips it into his pocket, and then they both launch themselves out of the window, shattering the window, and the third figure moves toward you. You get the first attack on this because of the surprise. So I'm going to let you have a free round. Tell me what you do.
The question is, you know what? I'm going to try and intimidate him into just giving up.
All right.
I'm going to click the safety off and try and do it hard enough to where it makes an audible click.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to point my gun directly at him, and I'd say, I spent so many years in the military, I could drop you from 2 rooms over with my eyes closed. So what you're going to do is come out here into the light slowly with your hands up where I can see them, or I will not hesitate to put at least one, if not more, of these bullets in this chamber right through the middle of your eyes.
All right. Go ahead and give me a roll.
For those listening, he just got up and left.
I needed a 60 and I rolled a 100. That's a fumble.
All right.
So you get scared and run away.
So
Why do I try to do cool things?
the cloaked figure stumbles toward you, and as he gets closer, you can see more of his features, his sunken eyes and rotted teeth in an emaciated face. And he lunges at you with both of his claw-like hands. And he goes,
Damn zombies.
and he is going to, as you are momentarily fumbled and caught off guard by the sight of this disgusting looking creature who appears barely to be a man, he's going to take a swing at you. So here we go. What would you like to do? Oh yeah, thank you very much. I forgot about that. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and roll me some sanity, buddy.
Oh, poop.
Now it works. I rolled a 65 and I rolled a 46.
All right, so that's a success. You managed to pass your sanity roll, and you are not shaken enough to go frigging crazy. But even so, you've been caught off guard, and he's going to lunge at you and take a swing. All right, let me take a look here. He only gets 1 attack per round. And we're going to go ahead. And what would you like to do in response?
I'm going to try and take that shot before he can swing at me.
Got it. So that is going to be a fight back.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to find out who's got the goods.
I'm going to regret that.
Nice. So he rolled a 31. He needed a 30. That's a fail.
I needed a 43 and I rolled a 21. That is a hard success.
All right, go ahead and roll me some damage.
Well, I guess I probably could have just done this in the first place.
And what was your damage?
That is 12 points of damage.
Got it. All right. So why don't you go ahead
Hold on.
and tell me
Quick
how...
question. When
Yep.
I'm like doing something like shooting my gun,
Yeah.
should I do the firearms, just a straight firearms roll, or should I do the actual gun roll with
The actual gun
damage?
roll will give you the damage, yeah.
Okay, so
'Cause
what's the difference? Like, when should I do one over the other? Should I do the gun, the firearms roll, just like for role playing, not when I'm actually going to
Yeah,
do something? Or I'll do it out of combat for role playing, and then use the actual Colt 45 roll when I'm in combat.
Right. So you see that the Colt
Okay.
45 is tied to your firearms HG. So
Yeah.
I would definitely use that one. Go to the
Okay.
weapons section and use that. Okay. Cool. So you said you did 12?
Yep.
Awesome. Why don't you tell me... I'll tell you, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and mark those down. So you take aim and blast him with a bullet, which hits him in the lower jaw. And his face just explodes in a what you thought should be blood, but is just bone and dust. And his basically, as you obliterate his part of his head, he is obscured by this just explosion of dust between the two of you, and then he lunges through it. And he's going to take a swing at you.
With no head?
He has... The top of his head is still there. His face is just destroyed. He has one eye left.
Oh.
And so he's going to go ahead and do a fight and brawl on you. How would you like to fight back?
I'm going to take another shot.
All right.
Re-aim for what's left of his head.
Well, actually, was that his or your attack? It was his.
No, he attacked. I fought back, and I got the success.
Got it. So yeah, it is your attack actually, and
Okay.
he's clearly not dead yet.
I'm not dead yet.
Not quite.
Okay, so I'm just gonna re-aim for what's left and take another shot.
All right, go for it, and I will fight back.
That's not good.
All right, so we're gonna see if he fights back. Oh no, he rolled. Go ahead and tell your roll first.
I needed a 43. I rolled a 92. That is a fail.
So your bullet goes astray, and he rolled a 30 or rolled a 51. He needed a 30, so that's also a fail. You guys both failed, no damage, and he's come a little bit closer toward you. You get the whiff of what smells like rotted fungus, almost like mushrooms. As this dust settles in the entryway to the study, and he's lurching closer toward you. And you notice also that he's not breathing heavy or anything. In fact, you don't hear him breathing at all. And he takes a swing at you. He needed a 30. He rolled an 84. That's a fail.
I'm going to again fight back and take that third shot for what's left of his head.
All right.
I needed a 43, and I rolled a 43.
Whoa.
That is a success.
All right.
And that's 11 points of damage.
11 points. All right, tell me how you take him down.
I'm going to, after he lunges through that dust cloud, it's going to catch me off guard, so I kind of stumble and fall back, and I kind of pull that shot, which is why I miss. So I'm on the ground on my back. As he lunges at me again, I slide out of the way, say, look up, and pull my gun up, look at him, and say, night, night, sucker, and then just blam, right what's left of his head is now gone.
All right. And the headless body collapses onto the ground. All you can see left is a neck stump with a little bit of the back of his skull attached. And he collapses to the ground. And you're, of course, breathing heavy. And covered in this disgusting fungoid dust.
I need to take a shower.
A golden shower.
Whoa, I'm not
Hey,
Trump and
hey
this is not
now.
Russia. Okay.
All right. So what would you like to do after that?
I'm going to find like a blanket or something. Or no. I'm going to... Did I see him put the puzzle box into his...
No, it was one of the fleeing.
Oh, one of the fleeing ones has the... Okay, the way you said it, I thought he had... Okay.
Yep.
In that case, I'm going to check. Does the robe have any pockets?
The robe does have pockets, yes.
I'm going to search the pockets.
All right. The pockets appear to be empty. They are, essentially the quality of the robes is good. They are, like I said, sort of durable brown fabric with some green satin trim, but they smell kind of musty. And in one of the pockets you find what appears to be a handful of dirt.
Okay, so I'm going to take a couple of pictures of the body just in case it, disintegrates or disappears or whatnot.
Okay, as you take a picture of the body, you do notice that there is what appears to be a strange tattoo on what's left of the back of his neck.
Okay, so I'm going to get in a little closer and take a picture of the tattoo.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and share that with you now. There you go. And for the listeners, this is what appears to be some sort of box shape with a star overplanted on top of it, with what appears to be, how would you describe that figure in the middle of the star? What is that to you, Dan?
To me, it looks like almost like a tree branch that's split into the shape of a Y. Like you could put like you could string a rubber band around it and use it as a slingshot. Okay. If you want to picture it that way.
All right. And how about those symbols that are in each of the corners?
In the top left corner, there is a sun. In the top right corner, there is a cloud. In the bottom left corner, there is a lightning bolt. And in the bottom right corner, there is a crescent moon.
All right. And this particular tattoo is not, it doesn't appear to be well etched. It's sort of rough, almost as if it were hand drawn by somebody who's not a professional artist.
Prison.
But to research this further, obviously, you would either need to spend some time at the library, maybe, or if you have any occult skill.
I have 5 in occult, so I doubt that's going to do me any good.
You're welcome to roll it if you like.
Okay, might as well. I needed a 5, and I rolled a 55. So if I round down to the nearest 5, I succeed.
So the most that you can tell is that it is occult related in some way, shape, or form. But beyond that, you can't identify any of the symbols. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you. You'd have to do more research.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
At this point, I'm going to find a blanket or something and just throw it over the body.
All right.
And then I'm going to go take a shower because I'm covered in weird mushroom smelling fungus, something kind of dust. And that's just icky.
Okay. All right. Then we'll go ahead and leave you there. Actually, no, let's not leave you there just yet. Let's go ahead and you hop out of the shower and you're clean again.
Zip.
Okay. I think I'm going to go... At that point, I'm going to... You said there was dirt in the pocket, right?
There was, a handful of dirt in one of the pockets.
Okay. I'm going to go down to the kitchen, grab a Ziploc bag, go back over to where the body was, and I'm going to take the dirt out of the pocket and put it into the bag because I can know that can be analyzed and they can figure out where the dirt came from.
Okay.
Or at least get like a general geographic area.
Gotcha. All right, go ahead and put that in your possessions, please. Ziploc baggie of dead man's dirt. And what else would you like to do?
I'm gonna flip the light. I'm gonna walk into the study, flip the lights on, and then go over and check out the damage to the broken window and peek my head out and see if the other two are still out there, or if they cleared out.
Cleared out while you were taking a shower?
Yeah.
All right. So you poke your head out into the night air and peer towards the ground where there is shattered glass and some footprints. Why don't you go ahead and give me either a spot hidden or a track?
I'm way better at spot hidden. So, I mean, I've already done one good spot hidden roll tonight, so I'm pushing my luck here. I needed a 68 and I rolled a 38. That's a success.
All right. So as you look out through the night air and the moon is quite full and bright, you can see very easily. And with your keen eyes, you do detect that the figures had evidently launched themselves out of the window, landed in the damp, dewy grass outside, and picked themselves up and shuffled off into the night towards the forest, potentially, back where you guys had cleared out the well and all of that. And you do see a strange bit of green phosphorus moss in one of the footprints that sort of catches the moonlight and glints unnaturally.
I'm going to put on some shoes, go outside, stop in the kitchen to grab a pair of tongs.
All right, let me stop you there. As you turn to go towards the kitchen, you do notice that the study having been ransacked, you see that there appears to be one of the bookcases has been moved away from the wall slightly, and you see what appears to be an alcove revealed behind it that you never realized was there.
I'm going to stop, pull out my phone, turn on the flashlight, and move over to where that opening in that bookshelf is and kind of point my flashlight in there and peek in and see just what's behind this bookcase.
Okay. So the bookcase has been moved far enough away from the wall to allow somebody to at least reach half their body through. And beyond, you can see that there is an alcove with a bunch of shelves. So it's almost like a bookcase behind a bookcase. The bookcase itself that covered the alcove is, now you realize, hinged. So it could easily swing back and forth and open once the latch was revealed. And beyond, you can see what appears to be some sort of bag. Almost looks like Charles's medical bag. There is a stack of books and some papers.
Can I read the titles of the books that are in there on like the spine? Or are they not facing?
Oh no, they're facing. You'd probably just have to open the bookcase that's covering the alcove a bit wider to get in there and actually search.
Okay, I'm gonna push the bookcase out a little farther so I can get in.
Okay, so you see that clearly the bag is a medical bag of some sort. Looks very much like Charles's old bag. It is dusty. It looks like this alcove has not been revealed in quite some time. Why don't you go ahead and give me a spot hidden, please?
I needed a 68 and I rolled a 16. That is a hard success.
You immediately spot next to the medical bag on one of the shelves, there's a small square patch of clear dust. And it appears like some little object was sitting there, maybe some sort of box-shaped item at one point, but now is missing. You also notice that there is a book that catches your eye. The rest of the books all appear to be history books, that sort of thing. The book that catches your eye, of course, is the one entitled "We're Not in Kansas Anymore: The Trappings of Temporal Tripping" by H.P. Loveland.
I'm going to pull that book out, step out of the alcove, and just take a second to look at it. Flip it over, see if there's like a descriptor on the back, if it has like a jacket. Or if not, I just want to open and like skim the first page or whatever to see if I can't figure out what this book is.
Got it. Yeah, so the book appears to be, it doesn't have a jacket or anything like that. It's a relatively older book, maybe doesn't have a copyright or anything like that on the inside, but obviously you do recognize that author, and H.P. Loveland was Charles Blaine's doctor at Arkham Sanitarium, the one who prescribed that you guys go to the Contented Cow. And inside you can quickly glean that this is a book about opening portals in time.
What?
It seems rather not literary, but more scientific. There's a lot of scientific babble in there, a lot of theory. It's very dense. You can't necessarily glean the whole of it in just a glance. You would probably have to spend considerable time reading it and rereading it in order to properly understand what's going on here.
I'm going to
read it and reread it.
Can I get some Cliff's notes?
Not at this stage, nope.
Oh, man. I'm going to set the book down on the desk in the study.
Okay.
And remembering what I was doing before, I'm going to head into the kitchen with the bag of dirt that I got off that guy and a pair of tongs. And I'm going to go outside, pick up that moss that I saw in the footprint with the tongs and put it into the bag with the dirt.
Okay. And again, it's just a strange bit of phosphorescent moss that is quickly losing its luster. And do you have any sort of skill that might help you identify this moss? Either science, botany, or natural world are the two that I'm thinking of.
I mean, I only have 10 in natural world. I have survival, but that's specified to desert, so I don't think that would help me here.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be either science, botany, or natural world. So you're welcome to make either of those rolls if you so choose.
Okay, I'm going to make a natural world roll here. I only have 10, so... I rolled a 47, so I don't know what the heck this stuff is.
All right, so you'd obviously have to do a little bit more research on this. And we'll go ahead and leave you there. All right. You with us, Gabe?
Yes.
All right.
I've just been sneezing and
Yeah,
doing a lot of fun sick stuff, so I muted myself.
Oh, yeah, it sounds so good. Gabe is typing. All right. Roy, you snap awake. You're sitting at your kitchen table with a pencil in your hand and a sketch pad in front of you. Drawn upon the blank white sheet is a rendering of what is clearly a graveyard, a field of teetering headstones and crooked statuary. Standing in the background is a crumbling edifice that can only be a long-abandoned church. As you peer closer, you find a dark humanoid figure has been rendered standing at a window beneath the steeple. I'm going to go ahead and show you this handout now. Oh, I'm actually scrolling down.
I'm 100,000% going to die because they both did well.
That's a lot of percentage.
I
All
know.
right, I'm going to go ahead and show this to the players, but Roy obviously... Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'll just show it to you guys all. It's fine. Because eventually you'll all see it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, whoa. I'm a good artist, man.
Looks like someone just found Instagram filters.
I think that's Rawhead Rex in the window up there.
And none of this is familiar. Suddenly, you're overcome with a dizzying fatigue. I'm going to need you to roll a power roll.
A power roll?
POW. On your character
Oh, I thought that was
sheet.
prisoner
okay,
of
okay.
war.
Prisoner of war roll, please.
Okay. I need a 70. I got a 78. That's a fail.
All right. I'm going to need you to remove 1 point of magic points. MP.
Okay. That's not a big deal to me.
What's that take you down to and from?
11.
So you're down 1 point from 12 to 11.
Yes.
Hey, although you're down 1 point, you still have more than me. I only have 10.
All right.
Ha.
So you feel this wave of fatigue overcome you, and you are suddenly dizzy. You reach out and grab a napkin that's on the table and clench it in your fist, holding tightly to it, and then immediately sweat breaks on your brow, and you daub it away before it can drip onto the sketch that you made. And then the wave is gone.
Oh,
And you're feeling more like your old self.
that wasn't so bad. Game over.
You die. Oh.
Would you like to do anything else?
Well, obviously, I'm startled by this feeling, so I go back to my chair and try and just sort out what's happening.
Okay.
Maybe.
Roll for introspection.
The best that you can recall is that you fell asleep in front of the television and you dreamed about Samantha Blaine, and that's the last thing that you remember before waking up upright at the table.
That's not that uncommon for me, waking up where I don't remember falling asleep. I'm more startled about the surge of power that just went over me and made me less magical.
Why don't you go ahead and
So
give me a spot hidden? We'll give you a little prompt here.
Okay. And it is 70, I got a 1. A critical spot hidden.
I would like to note that is the second critical role in the history of the Lovecraft tapes,
All right.
He sees everything.
including dead people.
Everything.
I see the ending of this scenario and complete it.
All right. So as you stumble back to your chair and sit back trying to recollect what had happened last night, you do get... There's just like a little snippet, almost like a jump cut of memory in your head where you realize that at some point last night while you were sleeping, you were browsing the internet on your cell phone.
I have a flip phone, though.
It takes a lot to browse.
All right, so we'll back up then. We'll say you realize that you at some point were browsing the internet on the home PC.
All right. So I'll go to the home PC and look at the history on it.
All right. You see that for whatever reason last night, while you were sleeping, you have no recollection of this, but yeah, you were whacking it to porn. Lots of porn. Midget porn, specifically.
You do that so often that why are you going to remember it?
Exactly. Yeah, you're looking through your browser history, and you see, for whatever reason, you were looking for swamp tours near La Place, Louisiana.
I guess I was just trying to send Jack back home to get him away from me.
I know voodoo. He has a gut shot.
All right, so let's go ahead and cut that there. I think that's good enough. And
I didn't die.
well, then not
That's a
the
good
scenario,
roll.
but we'll just cut the action there and then pick up. So we'll pick up the next morning. So let's go ahead and start off with Jack. What are you doing?
I've been sitting in a chair with a gun at the front door all night.
Kind of, yeah. You've been sort
Little
of recovering
paranoid.
from whatever.
Little
but
paranoid.
I'm just trying to get you guys together, essentially.
Yeah. That's
Compare
fine.
notes.
I'm going to text your hookers.
Oh, probably they're only hookers when they're dead. Prostitutes.
I'm going to text Danny and say, let's meet for breakfast. And then I'm going to get ready, take a shower, get dressed, shave, all that good stuff. And then I'm going to check my my interiors again, my windows and entrances. And then I'm going to...
All seems secure.
Yep. I'm going to take another piece of Scotch tape with me as I'm leaving and put it up near the top of the door where the door meets the jamb.
That's my jam.
The jam.
Between the two, and I'm going to all the way to my car.
All right. Danny, you get a text from Jack, says, let's meet for breakfast.
I'm going to text him back. Why don't you make that meeting at Blaine Manor? I can cook or we can order out, but you need to see something.
Whoa! I guess it was a good date.
And I'm not invited, so I'll just sit at home alone.
Well, he hasn't talked to Danny yet. He's only talked to me. Now go, Danny, go.
And then once I finish that text to Jack, I'm going to text Roy and say breakfast meeting at Blaine Manor. Get here ASAP.
And I'll say, is Jack coming?
That telemarketer. All right, so the three of you meet at Blaine Manor for breakfast.
I'd like crepes, please.
Dan, you welcome them inside?
I guess you're wondering why I called you all here today.
No.
Is this
I'm
another
not.
damn intervention?
Yes, our infrastructure is falling apart.
I thought you called us here for crepes, idiot.
Yes, and I made crepes. They're in the kitchen. But before, did anything weird happen to you two last night?
What do you
No.
mean weird?
Come with me, and I'm going to walk them
we
down
have to get in
to
a circle
the hallway
first.
outside the study where there's the blanket. I'm going to say, well, for one, this happened, and I'm going to dramatically yank the blanket off the body.
Oh my god, the spores!
So you're finally learning from your old pal Roy, huh?
What the hell happened here? Danny.
Well, I was on my way down from my room. I was going to grab a snack, as you do late at night. And I heard something in the study. So I gun-readied, walked around, booted the door open to surprise them, thinking that, maybe it was a burglar or someone. And there were 3 of these robe dudes in the room. 2 of them immediately spun and jumped out the window, as you can see by the lack of window and shattered glass in the back of the room. This guy charged me, and we went at it for a couple of rounds before I blew his head off. But the weird thing is as you can see, there's no blood. He wasn't really breathing, I don't think. And when I blew his head off, it exploded into a cloud that kind of smelled like mushrooms. I mean... And
What's going on?
he had, I'm going to pull the bag out. He had this dirt in his pocket, and I found this weird moss outside in a footprint from one of his friends, and it was glowing last night. It's not now, but it was.
Let me examine that dirt and weird moss.
I'm going to hand the bag over to Roy.
Okay. How are you going to inspect this, Roy? You can either do science, botany, or natural world.
I have a natural world.
Roll away.
So I needed a 60. I got a 19, and that's a hard success.
Holy shit.
Emphasis on hard.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
We normally don't
so
roll this well.
You're taking a look at the moss. We'll actually let you examine that for a little bit because you may need to check some things on your flip phone. Just to make sure. So go, Dan and Jack, why don't you continue along?
Are you all right, Danny?
Oh, yeah. He didn't manage to actually touch me at
Okay.
all. It was just strange. There is one thing that you might be able to help with, though, and I'm going to pull out my phone and I'm going to show him the picture of the tattoo on the back of the neck.
Okay.
What about a Slim Jimmy or whatever his name is?
Oh, yeah. I technically do have a tattoo artist friend, but
Yeah, we
I
can
don't know if
check
he'll know
with him
much
to
about-
see if maybe he recognizes the style, or if he can say if it's like prison tattoo or stuff like that. But definitely the symbol it does look somewhat familiar.
Well, if Bugsy was around, I'm sure he'd have some kind of recollection of prison tattoos, so he should be the top priority of this whole expedition.
We're gonna tap every damn resource.
So, Jack, why don't you go ahead and give me either a library use or an occult?
All right.
I think your library use might be a bit higher than your occult.
Oh,
wow.
What
Or
was
not.
that, Matt?
I needed a 40 and I got a 38 in occult.
Jack, as you examine this unusual tattoo, you get a chill up your spine. A feeling that you have not felt in many years.
The touch of a woman.
You recognize that this is a cult symbol. It's not exactly what you've seen when you were younger, but you do recognize it as belonging to the Glatmanite cult.
How do you spell that?
That is, you ready, Wiki?
Yeah. You ready, Wiki?
That
Yep.
is Glatmanite, Glatmanite.
Cool. I got it.
Nice.
All right. And the reason that you recognize this symbol is that is the cult from which your mother escaped. Oh, so many years ago,
Holy crap.
when she was attempting to rescue you and your sister from
Yes.
the clutches of Tommy Ray, the leader of the Glatmanites. And obviously, these are folks who are, as you know, snake worshippers.
Pretty sexy guys.
And they are obviously located in Louisiana.
Louisiana. Holy
Did some
crap.
disembodied voice just say Louisiana?
Louisiana.
Because I have been... well, it's not my normal drunken stupor like usually, but I found out yesterday that in my middle of the night I was Googling tours of Louisiana.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, like, I was only a little bit hungover when I woke up, so I'm not sure what happened.
Ooh-wee!
Yeah, I won't keep it out there, but I'm going to cry down.
And as Roy is explaining this to you guys and looking over the bit of moss, Roy, you also get a bit of a uneasy feeling.
Peace and quiet.
Suddenly the whole mansion just becomes quiet. And you realize that from your studies of the natural world back in the academy, this particular moss was relatively common in Louisiana, but more importantly, in the Maurepas Swamp.
Hey guys, this particular moss is common in Louisiana, and more particularly the Maurepas Swamp.
We might be having some issues here, boys.
I don't want to do a Jack Whiteside origin story here, so I think we should just stay here.
We got crepes.
Yeah, let's go eat some crepes.
We got crepes. Ooh-wee, we got crepes. All right,
got
guys.
Those new Cajun crepes.
We're about an hour, so I think that's actually a pretty decent place to stop.
Oh, that was good.
All right. So that's going to be it for this session. Tune in next time for more of Chapter 6, The Big Uneasy. How are you guys liking it so far?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I did something.
Yeah.
You said more combat.
I'm
And
happy
it worked
that I
out for me.
didn't
The other guy
die.
couldn't touch me.
Yeah, that's great. Finally, you get to use your combat.
Finally.
I'm too old for combat.
That's true.
Too old for this
That's
shit.
true. All right. Well,
I'm only
now it's
2
time
days
for
from
some
retirement.
recommendos.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Let's go ahead and start right off the top with Brian.
Woo! It's a Netflix original. It's called Nailed It. My daughter actually turned me onto this. It's a cooking show, reality show, kind of. They bring in a dish that is basically dessert, so they bring in like a cake or something. And these 3 people who are not professionals but would like to learn how to cook better have to make the exact cake or cookie or whatever it may be, and the one that gets the closest wins $10,000. But it is so unstructured compared to any other reality cooking show or anything like that. They have fun with it. They don't take themselves seriously. I laughed extremely loud several times. Sorry, everybody listening. You can't see my brother giving me the big eyes. But it's really good. I highly suggest watching it. The host is fantastic. And one of the episodes I watched, one of the judges said, well, I got to go pick up my kids. I'll be back. Just left in the middle of filming the show. And they kept it in. So it's very funny. Check it out. Yeah, it's called Nailed It. It's on Netflix, and it's new. So it's fun.
Very nice. All right. How about you, Gabe?
Come back to me. I'm trying to remember if I did this one before or not.
All right. How about you, Matt?
This is one I have definitely not done before because I keep track of these things.
I don't, because I'm not a freaking nerd.
Nerd power. Today I got a game that just came out fairly recently called Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. It's kind of somewhere between like a walking simulator and a visual novel, but in essence, it is a game about stories. After you lose a poker game to a man called the Man in the Gray Suit, he tasks you with traveling all over the United States with finding stories, collecting stories, and then not only finding other people who are storytellers, but sharing your stories. And you'll see as you travel around this big map of the United States, you literally walk across the map. You'll find people, you'll pick up stories, and then you'll find occasions where you meet people at campfires where you have to tell them the type of story they're looking for. And if you give them enough of what they want, they will give you a piece of their history, their backstory, which you can then tell to other people. And it has this really cool mechanic where when you tell someone a story, chances are you will find someone else somewhere on the map who is retelling the story that you told them, but it's been exaggerated. It's been grown. And the more you find these retold stories and tell them again, the more the tale gets bigger and more grandiose. And you get like this really cool evolution of these really simple little stories that you go into these massive epics wherever you go. And it's just a really different kind of game, and it's really interesting. Has a very painted, like landscape surreal art style. It's voice acted, and it's done incredibly well. And it is only $20 on Steam, so it's definitely worth a look.
Cool. We'll check that out. How about you, Gabe? You ready?
Yeah, I got it. Okay. I got a wrestling company. It's been a while since I've done a wrestling show. I don't even know. I haven't done one this year. I know, it's crazy. So I got one, and it's a company. They do a lot of shows, so I don't really want to pinpoint one because they're all very different, so tastes get in the way. The company is called Progress Wrestling. They're out of Britain. They basically are punk rock wrestling. Like, they do them in these small venues. They've been getting bigger, but when they started, they were all these small venues like bowling alleys and the Electric Company or something like that. And yeah, and just the matches that they put on are some of the most incredible things in the world because even though they're a smaller company, they get some of the best guys, especially on the British scene, to come in and do them. And above all else, I think that they're the best storytelling company in the world because the stories that they tell are so engrossing to me. Like, the best story that they've ever done is The Rise of Jimmy Havoc, and this guy came into the company. He's more of a deathmatch style guy when it's more of a like strongman wrestling company. He lost every match that he fought in until the first match he won was for the title. And then he became just this psychopath that was trying to like murder everyone. Like, he did a bit with Will Ospreay where he tied him down and he did the Reservoir Dogs thing and tried to cut his ear off with a razor blade and just went insane. And it's excellent. So definitely give that a look if you enjoy the wrestling persuasion. That's Progress Wrestling. Good
Lord.
That's good.
Well, speaking of psychopaths, my recommendo for today is Murder Obsession, a 1981 giallo, of course, that I watched on Shudder, directed by Riccardo Freda. You know him.
Duh.
Ricardo.
Yeah.
Starring Stefano Patrizzi, Martina Brochard, and Fabrizio Moroni. All those glorious, glorious stars of yesteryear. The plot is relatively familiar. A young man stabbed his musician father to death. And then you flash forward many, many years when he's now an adult man, a famous movie star, actually. And he returns home to visit his mother and the creepy caretaker. And in tow, he has his new girlfriend and some movie friends. And what follows is essentially a black-gloved killer who is stalking around, killing people. All the bodies start falling one after another. There is plenty of nudity, sex, satanic rituals, dream sequences, the unreliable narrator, of course, and everybody is a suspect until they're dead. There is some hilariously laughable gore effects, and in particular, there is a great axe scene which I posted on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but it was a snapshot from that movie, and it's so patently false. It looks like me and Brian did it in our backyard. It's so bad. And there is a hilarious, gigantic rubber spider scene where a woman is basically wandering around the catacombs in her flimsy nightie, and then she gets caught in this web that's clearly made out of like twine or something. And the giant rubber spider in the middle just sort of vibrating in the middle of this stupid web. It's hilarious, and it really does walk the line between so bad it's good. It's not as great as some of the other giallos of that era, of course, but it's hilarious, and it has boobs, awesome. And it's got blood, and it's got all the stuff that you like. So. I do highly recommend Murder Obsession. You can watch it on Shudder, but it's probably available elsewhere. So.
Sweet.
Look for it. And that's going to do it for this episode of the Lovecraft Tapes. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, because that's a thing now. Google Music, Podbean, Stitcher, and where else do we go? Spotify? I think Spotify's still pending, but... Or anywhere else you download your regular podcasts or irregular podcasts. If you like what you hear, please leave us a review. Meanwhile, you can find us at thelovecrafttapes.com with links to all our recommendos and social media channels, including Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, and our Discord server, where you can chat with us in real time. K-Rock. You can find me on Twitter at Lovecraft Tapes.
And if anyone wants to get a pre-order in on my new manuscript, How to Roll Goodly and Investigate Other Things Well, hit me up on Twitter at TheRealWeirdKid.
And if anyone wants to explain to me how in the 5 minutes of me talking about moss to me eating crepes, I get not sick, you can find me at Lovecraft Gabe.
If you want to see me hitting on Matt, you can at Brian Podcast on Twitter. And Discord. I'm on Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
all
too
right.
for me.
Until next time, roll for sanity.
No.
Hooray, dear.
We're going to give you your